Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear and I'm here to build a Lego set. And I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can go ahead and reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi, you can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, just go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. It's a Monday night, so we're working on a Lego set. We're starting the Lego Technic Mack LR electric garbage truck. Specific to be clear, this is not an electric Lego set. It's a Lego set of an electric garbage truck of the Mack LR variety. So we're dealing with that. I believe this is the first time I have had a truck that is a legit vehicle. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. We have certainly built plenty of cars that were licensed cars. This is, I believe, the first licensed truck that I have built on stream, because even the monster trucks that I have built have not been licensed, as far as I remember. I could be wrong about that, and if I'm wrong, then I apologize. It's okay to apologize. If you're wrong, you move on from it, right? You don't have to dwell on it. You just move on from it. So tonight's agenda, starting on this Lego set, having fun with that. We're going to talk football. We're going to talk video games. We'll talk about a little bit of wrestling news, gaming news of some variety, anime in the second hour, other things that come up. I want to tell you right now that I'm going to have Arby's for lunch tomorrow. I am very excited about that. I am thinking Arby's tomorrow, and I am excited to do that. So, to explain, as many of you are aware, my folks are currently out of town. And what we do often when they're out of town is they do have the meat, Lord Crashington. They do, and I will get some meat there. So, every year they go on vacation. Generally for like a month and a half. This year only a month, which is fine. It's what they chose to do. So they're doing that. They're only going out for a month. But they like to get their mail. Like, I have an email chain with my mom about like what the mail comes in, if there's any bills, anything like that, because like all of her bills she can pay online. She doesn't do auto pay. She wants to know them, blah blah blah. But also my mom is going to be spending time, because they're in Florida right now, at the pool. And so she likes to read catalogs and magazines and whatever else gets delivered. So I mail stuff out to them while they're there. And I only do it a couple times. So I haven't done it since they went down, but I am doing it now. So I'll go to the post office. Now, here's the thing. What's right across the street from the post office, Pat? Well, right across the street from the post office is an Arby's. So what I'll do is I will take I will take a car to go and get to the mail, to go mail things out, take care of business on that end, and then sorry, I have to make sure that this is the wrong piece. I need this to be this, so I almost grabbed the wrong piece, but I'm fixing my mistake. So I will go and take care of the mail, do that, and then I will walk down to the light, cross the street, walk down a little bit farther, because it's not directly across the street, but it's pretty damn close. And I will go and I will have Arby's, and then I will get a ride back to the house. So I'm doing that tomorrow, and I will get the meats. Hey, Lashbrook, welcome. All right, let me make sure I'm doing the right number here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that, and then 1, 2, 3 on there. So 1, 2, 3. So it should be this one, but we'll double check here. Are there 4 there? Are there 3 there? There are. Okay. And now we're going to take this along here, and we are going to put this so like that. I think like that. Yeah, that would make sense. Long piece, short piece. There we go. Okay, we've done that. Got that done. This is Lego Technic, which we have done, I believe, only once, maybe twice before on stream. But we have messed around with the Lego Technics before. So yeah, so I am used to this. Okay, so we need Yeah, okay. So this side here, this side here. Okay. We need 2 of these, and we need 1 of the shorter light gray. Got it. Get it, got it, good. Okay. We want to put that on this. Then we put this on like this here. Anyway, I'm excited about it. I haven't been to Arby's in quite some time. I will be getting a big beef and cheddar a meal. And so I'll get that with fries and a drink. And then I might get something else, depending on how hungry I am tomorrow for lunch. I won't have breakfast, so that way I can enjoy myself. But I'll have something. Like, I don't know what exactly. I'll get there. Lord Crashing wants me to hit the dance button, and I will hit the dance button. Thank you for using the dance button. Here's the dance button. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then I need 2 more blues. Just wanted to wait for that little bit of a drop there. Okay, and then I need 2 of these. Not 3 of these. 2 of these. Wait, did I also miss a step somewhere? What happened there? Oh, I jumped a page. I was like, these I need for a later stage. I was like, they're saying there's a piece there. But when I was looking, I was like, there's no piece there. A white one of these here. Yeah, so these are a little more involved than some other things, so I'll have to be careful that I'm doing the things that I need to do here properly. But we'll figure it all out. It'll be okay. Can always fix our problems if we run into problems. But yeah, big beef and cheddar, curly fries, a drink, and then I might get a slider or something. Or I might get another sandwich. And this is crazy of me to say. I could get another sandwich, and I could take that sandwich home, so I could just get something and bring it home. Although I don't know if reheating Arby's is necessarily the best call. So, but maybe if I get like a slider or something, I could do that. But that is the plan for tomorrow afternoon or morning into the afternoon is going to the post office and getting myself some Arby's. All right, so these go on this side of that. I think this is right. We'll figure out if I'm doing it wrong as we go. And then the other gray long piece goes here, and that's going to go like this. And that is going to match here. And then slide in like that. Okay, that's slid in. And then we'll make that even, but this looks right. This looks like what we want here. And then now we're on the step where I have to put these in. 3 of these. And then see where these go. Okay, so they go here and here. Good. I watched the Super Bowl last night. I was in a chat room with some friends talking at a couple different places. I was also on Blue Sky. It did feel like the first major sporting event where Blue Sky was kind of popping. It's been around for a while, and I've been on it for a bit, but this felt like, oh yeah, people are on here, and they are talking in time, and they are like, they have things to say about what's going on here and all of that. So this is going to go this then. Okay, it goes like that. Now, is that correct? Because the other one is not a long piece, right? All right, I think that's right. We'll find out later. This one is shorter than this, and I'm confused on that, but that's because this piece, I think, I don't know. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it all out, folks. This is not going to be fully symmetrical, I have to remember, because it's a garbage truck, and there's, garbage trucks are not symmetrical in their design. Unless, some dump trucks can be, but not garbage trucks. So I got to remember that. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I watched the Super Bowl. I don't know if you did or not, but I certainly did. I thought the game was really fun. I did not necessarily have a dog in the race, but should make it clear that I was rooting for Philly because of friends of mine who care a lot about Philadelphia. Plenty of friends that grew up there or lived there for a long time or had family who were from there and therefore it inherited the team as their team. So I was rooting for the Eagles because of friend connections, but also just because like it felt right. I don't know. As a longtime New York resident, I hold no ill will to Philadelphia. Philly and South Jersey have a rivalry due to location. New York does not necessarily have a sports rivalry with Philadelphia. We decide that's more with Boston than anything else. So as someone in my heart who is still a New Yorker, I got no problems with Philadelphia. The city itself, I've enjoyed my time there. I've been there a few times and liked my time in Philly. So basically, was happy to root for them, and they won. And it was a game where, man, yeah, the Chiefs did not get to do things till way late in the game, and by that point, it was not going to work out. Now, part of that seemed to be maybe the Chiefs were kind of crumbling under some pressure a little bit. But a lot of it was just that Philadelphia has a very good defense, and their defense showed the fuck up and did the shit. They did the things they were supposed to do in order to, win. The things you would want from the Eagles defense. And then the Eagles offense held their own and held up their part of the bargain. You got to have a defense and an offense, right? So it all worked out pretty great. It was an emotional game and cool. And so I was happy to watch that game, pleased with the outcome. And then, of course, I believe these are going to be our wheels are going to go into this, I believe. I haven't even said how many pieces this kit is. I should look that up. This is a 503-piece kit. It is a licensed kit, but because it's a electric dump truck, the Mack, it is not as expensive as other licensed vehicles often are. So this was not super pricey to pick up. And 500 pieces means it will take me a little while to build. Most likely on Thursday's stream, we'll take a pause from this and then resume it to do another Lego set, because on Thursday we'll celebrate Valentine's Day with a fun Valentine Lego set. That'll be a one stream build, and then we'll come back to the dump truck. But that to me seemed kind of like a funny thing, because I don't think that right, because Valentine's Day is on Friday. Yes, Valentine's Day is on Friday, so we're on Thursday. We'll do the cute Lego and then come back to the dump truck. We're definitely not going to finish this in one stream. That would be silly. So there are three things to talk about when you're talking about the Super Bowl, right? You talk about the football that happened in it. We talked about that a bit. You talk about the commercials. And you talk about the halftime show. And there's often other things to chat about, but those are, to me, the major things that one would want to cover in if one was talking about the superb owl. And so, commercials. There were a lot of goddamn commercials that were either made with AI or made about AI, and all of them were terrible. The mustaches, the eyebrows, I can't believe those were two different companies. That was terrible. I would say there were a couple things that stood out to me that I thought were pretty okay as far as commercials go. I thought the Harrison Ford ad was pretty fun. Talking about Jeep, him just talking about Jeep, because I liked that it started off as like very generic. It was like, wait, did Harrison Ford also do a like Jesus was pretty cool, don't be hateful? Did he also take that money? Because that's wild if it's true. No, it's it's Harrison Ford doing an ad for Jeep, and in the end he says, even if my name is Ford, which was like kind of funny. I thought that was approaching comedy, and I thought that was pretty okay. We're gonna put these in there. So I thought that was pretty good. Was there anything else I liked? About the obesity epidemic commercial that had "This Is America" playing in the background, which just felt odd. That was an odd choice. There were some odd musical choices in there. Making a mayonnaise or Miracle Whip commercial that scene from Harry Met Sally. From when Harry Met Sally is bonkers because what? Why did that happen? Why? There was a lot of whys. A lot of those commercials, I was just like, why would you say yes to this? Why would you make this a thing that you're doing? Why am I forced to be a part of these shenanigans? There were just a lot of unanswered questions. I had a lot of unanswered questions going into the Super Bowl as far as some of the the choices in some of those commercials. I was just like very confused. All right, so this is going to go here in the middle, I believe. Yes, this goes in the middle. And so this is going to twist, and that will turn that there. Got it. We're doing it. Let's see. Were there any other ads? I don't know. If you had any ads that you watched the Super Bowl that you either thought were very good or very bad, you can let me know. Because, most of them were just like, it's fucking fine. Or, another fucking AI ad. God damn it. Get these goddamn AI ads out of my face. But unfortunately, could not get those damn ads out of my face. I wanted to very badly, but they were just consistently all up in my business, trying to get me excited about AI, trying to get me to like want to be excited about an AI that will help you write lists. It was one of those things you're just like, oh, they're fucking cooked. They don't got anything. GoDaddy using AI to help you make websites. It's like, what? Fuck off, GoDaddy. Lasper says the only part I saw was the halftime show after the fact. I hear you. Not everybody watches the Super Bowl. I get you. Anyway, I'll say this. I watched on Tubi. I watched the Super Bowl on Tubi, and it was the same broadcast that Fox got, which I thought was neat. A few years ago, up until just even a couple years ago, when you would watch the streaming version of it, unless you were watching the... So, it used to be broadcast television would just air it, and then like the channel would also have a streaming version of it. So you could go to like NBC.com or CBS.com and you could watch the Super Bowl like that. But they didn't treat it like the same kind of broadcast. They would have the same announcers and commentary, but what they wouldn't have would be the same commercials, because the commercials would have to license the internet version. So you would watch it on the internet, and it would be, you would only get like the same couple ads over and over and over again. You wouldn't get all of the ads. And it was definitely like shitty, and sometimes it would just fail. So I watched last night on Tubi, which just ran the same thing you get by watching it on Fox. And so you got all the ads, and it was the same broadcast, and that was fine, and I much prefer it that way. All right, so how does this go? This is going to go like this then. Okay. Lord Crash says, the fonts on the scoreboard look like the Fortnite font, or at least more plain version of it. Yes, I got used to it very quickly. It was big. The score bug, as they call it, 2 words there, score bug, or 1 word, depending. Score bug. The score bug was very big. It took up a lot of room, but it wasn't to me like a deal breaker. It didn't feel like, oh, well, I'm not going to watch this anymore because this is clearly terrible. Like, I was just like, okay, all right, sure. It was fine to me. I know some people had a big problem with it. I got used to it like right away. So yeah, Super Bowl happened. We should talk a little bit about. Hey, Lysandus, we should talk a little bit about the halftime show. Now, I would recommend if you watched it live, you should watch the NFL's uploaded version of it because to me anyway, the audio is a lot better, is mixed better. These were Kendrick Lamar did live vocals the entire time. So, which is, let's just say, fucking impressive. Because that's like a 13-minute show where he's rapping basically the whole time. He talks a little bit here and there. But he didn't get blown up for most of it, which is fucking impressive. It's really impressive. But he was a little light in the mix. Because he was, he's talking to a microphone, but it wasn't as loud as it could have been. And I think that suffered a little bit, but in the uploaded version, I think it is much cleaner. Yeah, I mean, we'll get into it. We'll talk a little bit about that, Lysandus, certainly. This is interesting to me. So, at some point, people decided, hey, I'm doing a halftime show, but I'm doing a show for the people watching the Super Bowl, not just the people in the arena for the Super Bowl. And so this thing was shot. This was a performance. It was a performance piece. It was shot with the home audience in mind, not necessarily the live audience in mind, which I think is a stronger choice. And it also depends on the act. It depends on what you're doing, right? If you are doing a thing with a bunch of guests and you're going through your greatest hits and it is maybe in a rock performance, something like that, that to me makes sense that you maybe like play like you're doing a show. Whereas if you are looking at this as a piece of art, a performance piece, then yeah, it makes sense to give it up for presentation. Kendrick is... he is a lyricist. Like, he does have some fucking killer beats, as we heard in there, but he also has some stuff where it's just like, hey, these are, there's a lot of heartfelt and also certainly bravado and all those other things. You don't need me to really explain to you Kendrick Lamar's performance style, but it is a thing where it has been seen as pretty fucking personal. Quite often, his performances are not as bombastic as some other people that have done the Super Bowl. So I think treating it like a live performance and filming it like a live performance was a really fucking awesome choice. I thought it was performed really strongly. You could tell where he was losing his breath, but that was way deep into the performance. Yes, very well staged, and the choreography was fantastic. From the very beginning of having a car out there and then having it be a clown car of sorts, obviously there's some sort of steps or platform underneath the car or next to the car or something, but all these people come out of the car and then more and more people keep coming out of the car. I thought that was like a very fun way to start things off, and then it just escalated from there. Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam was phenomenal. There are nuances there that I am not going to be fully equipped to talk about here in the performance. But him talking about Uncle Sam, talking about like what kind of performance that Kendrick was doing, where he was placating to the home audience, both white and black audiences. What he liked about the performance in the middle of it as the character. There's a lot there. It wasn't just, oh, well, we'll have Sam Jackson as the narrator because that's fucking a really fun choice, and it is a really fun choice, but also, there was fucking some symbolism in there, let's just say. Stuff is going on in that. The big takeaway from it will be, yes, like the commentary on that. The big takeaway will be that this was a funeral for Drake. That will be the big takeaway. That'll be the thing that people talk about. But there's more to it than that, of course. But again, also, we can't not talk about the performance of that. The tease of Not Like Us, the saying, well, it's a good thing you chose not to do it, because that was the big conversation going into this. Is he going to do Not Like Us? Is he just going to do it over and over again for 12 minutes? Somewhat jokingly, like, is he going to play it twice? What's going to happen? And so you get the little like hint of it, and even the commentary in it of him being like, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to do that because they love to sue." Taking a little bit of that in there, and then it's so that kind of gives you the moment where you're like, "Oh, he's not going to do it." Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that he's not going to do it, but yeah, I wish he was going to do it, but I mean, he can't say that. But also, there's plenty of language throughout that he didn't say. There are even so the choice of not being bleeped, right, is an interesting one. You just don't say the words, right? You change a few words, you don't say many of the words. Some of the words you just know you're not gonna get to say. So you pick and choose your battles on that. Kendrick's choice to, in some instances, just not say anything, and other to extend the previous word out. Those are all really interesting. There is a point where there is a space and a breath, but he is not editing himself. He is literally playing upon it. And again, I sound like the biggest fucking dork on these conversations. I would recommend that you look up Mike Eagle, Iron Mike Eagle. He has a YouTube channel. He has a video on this. And this was kind of a spur of the moment one. He's going to probably do more of a video essay on it as well. But Mike is just going to be way better at this than I am. So I would say you can look up Mike Eagle's take on all of this as well, because it's going to be more nuanced and more self-aware of stuff there, or more aware, I should say, not self-aware, more aware in general of these things than I'm going to be able to do. But yeah, he even plays on it. There's a pause where he takes a breath, and that is not him editing himself. It is to play up on the lines of silence, because there is a lyric about silence right before that, which is just fucking cool as hell. And then then he gets the chance to do Not Like Us. Just doing Not Like Us. Honestly, watching Last Week Says was surprised at the production of all of it. It was such a big set, and they had been sprinting from each of those set pieces, I swear. Yeah, so he was climbing over. There were like breaks in the set for him to climb over while the camera panned and zoomed and focused on dancers, and it was all really intricate. You could see him at some parts like getting ready to walk up the staircase around the center and like moving. It was very intricate and just like astonishingly well done. And then of course, Not Like Us happens. There is Serena Williams crip walking. Yes, we haven't even talked about SZA. SZA was there to help him get some time. Yeah, I mean, SZA's there because you don't need it, but it is nice to have some other people. It is nice to have a bit of a change in that. That's definitely a selling point when you are promoting this thing and pitching this thing to, because of course one has to remember that this is Kim and his producer doing all of this. This is not produced by the NFL. This is produced in association with the NFL, but the NFL did not produce the segment. But of course, I do need to make that clear, of course, that they know they sign off on all of this, right? But Serena Williams, crip walking, that's fucking wild. That's Drake's ex-girlfriend, and so Kendrick throughout most of it, and I didn't notice this when I was watching it live. I noticed it later watching it on YouTube. Kendrick he's done this, he's not looking in the camera for a lot of the beginning. He's not making eye contact with the camera. He's not looking to us through the camera for most of the beginning. But he does when he's talking to Drake. He's looking into the camera and looking at Drake. But Serena Williams, Serena was she was there to have a good time, but she was also there to mean mug, and I really do appreciate that. Some great mean mugging. There is a clip of her on her social media talking about it briefly. She doesn't get too deep into it, but she does say, sorry, let me just, I almost missed a step. Almost missed a step. She does say that if she did that at Wimbledon, she would get fined. Which is her own good discussion on blackness in sports, and I think that's like fucking awesome for her to say that. But yeah, it was great. Serena was great. Mustard was having a fucking time of his goddamn life, which was very fun. There are photos backstage of Mustard and Samuel L. Jackson having a great time, which is also very fun. And yeah, there's joy in it. Now, largely politically, we can say it pissed off a lot of people. It pissed off a lot of people that make TikTok videos or Instagram, that make Instagram reel videos sitting in their trucks wearing sunglasses, talking to camera. A lot of sunglass wearing white men were unhappy with the performance. And now I just want to say here, if you are more familiar with the beef than you are with Kendrick's music, yeah, that could happen. You are at least, if you're watching this video later in the VOD, if you're watching it live right now, you are at least culturally aware of who he is. And it is disingenuous to say that a multi-time Grammy winner is completely unknown to the majority of the America, which is what some people were trying to say, which is just unbelievably silly. It's a false narrative. We don't have to give it much conversation or the time of day in any way, shape, or form, because that's just silly. If you're saying that's not your kind of music, yeah, all right. But remember, folks, this is an important thing. As y'all get older, as I get older, it's important to remember that just because you don't know who a popular music artist is not an indictment on that popular musical artist. It is unfortunately a sign of the times for you. It is a thing that you need to internalize. Sorry. You mostly know him from the YOLO Lonely Island song. Yeah, I mean, like I said, right? Like, culturally, if that's not your genre, if that's not your vibe, if you, like, yeah, if that's not your style of hip-hop that you listen to, right? Like, if you're more of the nerdcore kind of stuff, if you're more of the, he is very thoughtful, but if you're more of the independent rapper or more of a party rapper kind of person, like, yeah, you might not be super familiar with Kendrick or what he puts out there. But it is important to remember that sometimes, and it's not even like, oh, well, you know, internationally. It's like, no, this is in America, and important to remember that. But, you know, I know a lot of people were like, who's this person? I don't know who he is. And it's like, okay, well, that's celebrating your own ignorance about things is silly and terrible, but also, like, not surprising. I don't know, like, there was somebody who was performing on the Grammys, and I was like, I have no idea who this person is. I have never heard this name before. It did not stick with me. I cannot tell you what the name was. And then I heard the song, and I was like, oh, okay, I've heard that song on TikTok. All right. And then they did a backflip off of a piano, and I was like, okay, I should probably learn who this person is. I'll tell you right now, folks, I did not learn who that person was. But it was the thing where I was like, all right, I am sure that there are some people who are just like, finally, it's this person's time. They did it. And I'm like, I don't know who that is. Because I'd watched the Grammys. I just saw clips, and there was one clip of a guy doing a backflip off a piano. And I was like, oh, shit, all right, that's cool. Like, hell yeah. Do it, yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. But yeah, I think It is not your responsibility to keep up with pop culture if you do not want to. You are not obligated to keep up with pop culture. But if you are choosing not to keep up with popular culture, and it's hard now because it is, so siphoned off in various directions. But like, yeah, if someone's just like, my favorite group is Blackpink, and you're like, I have no concept of what you're talking about. I do not know. I know who Pink is, but I don't know who Blackpink is. I'm not saying you got to go out and listen to Blackpink. I mean, you got to go on Spotify and listen to Blackpink so you can be culturally aware of a group that is incredibly popular throughout the world. But if you are not interested in keeping up with those things, and again, I am saying you do not have to do these things. But if you are not going to keep up, that, listen, it says, I love Blackpink. Yes, hell yeah. But again, on the other part of that is, if you are not interested or able to keep up with those things, the flip side of it is then you cannot be mad at people who are, or mad that this person is famous, but you don't know who they are. Like, I don't know what actors young people want to sleep with. I have no fucking idea. I don't know who the heartthrobs are, right? Because I don't watch young adult novel adaptations, so I don't know. Like, I don't watch the CW. I don't know what shows are on right now, like TV shows or movies are coming out that feature young actors who are not actually as young as you would think they are, but they're playing characters younger that like teens are into. I have no fucking idea who the teens are into, right? But if there's a young heartthrob and they're like, well, that person is blah, 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 I'll be like, oh, okay. I might try to find out about them because I want to be aware of what's going on culturally. But I'm not mad. There was somebody who, like, the conservatives were just like, oh, well, we have this actress and they have natural boobs and you can't, big boobs, and the libs want to own us. And it was this weird thing where I was like, I have never heard of this actress. I have no idea who she is. Also, when did Republicans decide that liberals don't like boobs? What are you talking about? What? I don't know what? Are you unaware of big titty goth girlfriends? Like, what happened? What's going on? Did you miss the memo, conservatives, about that? But okay, sure. But it was like, I still don't know who that was. I still have no idea who that was, that they were like, well, we got this person, everything's okay. And I'd be like, all right, I don't know who that actress is, but great. I hope she's having an excellent career. I don't know what to tell you. And again, I try to be current on a bunch of stuff because I am a citizen of the world. So I do try to know what's going on. A lot of what I get is memes of things, secondhand interpretations of memes that are interpretations of pop culture, which is bad. Like, I think, I don't think I should be seeing sketches on the internet of people doing their parody of a thing as the first time that I have seen the thing, but I don't know how to fix that. I don't other than constantly consuming things that are being produced by and for people 20 years younger than me or more, 30 years younger than me. Yeah, things that are made for 14-year-olds are things that are made for people 30 years younger than me. So I don't need to know everything about those things, right? It's helpful for me to know about I think it's helpful for me as a citizen of the internet, as someone that makes internet content that is out there doing that stuff, blazing those trails. It's probably a good idea for me to know what Skibbity Toilet is. Have I ever watched Skibbity Toilet? No. Will I ever watch Skibbity Toilet? Probably not, but I'm aware of it. I'm aware of what that is. I know about that. I know who the Rizzler is, you know? I know the Costco guys. Like, okay, I'm figuring that stuff out. I know about the parody songs that are about video games. I'm somewhat aware. One thing I'm happy about lately is I know when a song parody happens, I often know the song that's being parodied before I hear the parody version. It's pretty good. I need Weird Al to show me what the kids like. Yeah. I mean, I get that. Sometimes you want to sometimes you want to look at the liner notes for the polka on Weird Al's album so you can see all of the songs that he has included in the polka and which of those songs came out in the last couple of years. And you can look at it and you can go, okay, okay, that's that song. Oh, that's that song. Oh, that's that one. Oh, that's from that TikTok thing. Okay. You could do that. That is helpful. One more name got released this weekend from WWE. WWE released a bunch of people. They also released Elektra Lopez. Elektra Lopez is a wrestler, but was more of a manager. She was not a great wrestler and kind of an okay manager. I'm not surprised she got released. I don't know what she does next. I assume she shows up managing people or working on other things, or she goes the indie route and just tries to get work as an indie wrestler. But yeah, she also got released, and that information was not available to a lot of people, it seems like. I want to give an update on that. Couple of news stories here. Valve bans forced in-game ads from all Steam titles. Now, this is a bad title here from Kotaku because they've always banned it, but they're enforcing it now. Really, obviously, you know, if you're playing a mobile game, you get those like ads. They're freemium games. That's how they make their money, is throwing those ads, and they're terrible, annoying ads that you have to look at. I know that y'all are aware of those things and things, but. There's a bit of a conversation here with it showing up on games that were put on platforms that are not mobile platforms, like a thing that is like kind of tolerated in other on mobile devices, not necessarily tolerated in other places there. But Valve does not want that on Steam, and that's always been a rule, but now they are legitimately enforcing it. The Steamworks documentation has been updated to make it more clear that it refuses to sell any games that rely on in-game advertising as a business model. Means no games can require players to watch ads to be able to play, nor hide any elements of a game behind a commercial. Banning the use of viewing ads to gain in-game advantages, rewards, or time. So basically, they've always been this way. They're just codifying the language a bit more now, which is nice. That's good. Developers should not utilize paid advertisements as a business model in their games, such as requiring players to watch or otherwise engage with advertising in order to play, or gaining gameplay behind advertising. If your game's business model relies on advertising on other platforms, you will need to remove those elements before shipping on Steam. This is good. These are good things that we are hearing there. These are all good quality of life things that benefit users, and yeah, I don't think I have to like really go too deep into it, but like that's good. It's good shit. It's good shit that is what is going on down there on Steam. So congratulations, Steam. You love it. You love to hear it. Developers should not use advertising as a way to provide value to players, such as giving players a reward for watching or engaging with advertising in their game. So yeah, that rules. That means that it will also hopefully prevent people from just dumping their mobile game directly onto Steam without any other further work, because they will at least have to do some amount of work in order to do that, which will just declutter Steam even slightly. So that's great. Love that. Speaking of removing things, PlayStation has removed 30 plus shovelware games last year. That were put out last year. Seems like a developer that was just putting out complete and utter fucking shit finally got snagged there on Microsoft. On PlayStation Network. Following a report last week highlighting the slop currently infesting digital storefronts. This was a report from Kotaku about like the Wii, more the Nintendo shop, I should say, not the Wii shop, Nintendo shop. This is also one publisher and clearly AI created arts. This was IGN published an in-depth report on February 3rd about how digital storefronts like Steam and the eShop have been flooded over the last year with games that use a combination of AI-generated images, misleading titles, and fake screenshots. Yeah, obviously all of those are terrible things that we're not thrilled about. Let's see. Sorry, I'm doing all of this correctly here. Yeah, there's a lot of games with AI generated box art that all look the same. Yep, yeah. So this is an IGN report, and again using the term the local term there of calling it slop. Let's see. Probably due to the IGN report, Sony stepped in and removed some of it. Sometime last week, Sony quietly removed many games published by Random Spin Games, which has been notorious for its slop. They published in 2024, 35 games, sometimes released multiple titles in a single month. Many of these games featured a telltale trademark of slop, including screenshots and covers that looked like they were created using AI. Among the company's games were titles such as Difficult Climbing Game and Body Cam Shooter PS4, which, as far as I can tell, was released on the PS4. So at least that was accurate. That part of it was accurate. Let's see. Some of their games are still on there. So a bunch of them got delisted, but apparently some are still there. Anonymous devs and people within the games industry shared how the PlayStation Store rules and lack of oversight make it easy for this slop to happen. I got to turn this around. Sorry, folks. I almost put this on the wrong way. So I got to put this on here, put that on there. Oh, come on. There it is. Then it's got to go in like that. Yep, it's got to go like that. Yeah. We did it. Hooray. And then this becomes an end cap. It goes right there. Yeah, lines up. Looking good. Let's see. Apparently, Nintendo is even easier. Game certification for digital only. If you're doing digital store only, Lysandus, no. That is not, game certification is not a thing, because they want to make it easier for people to put games on their systems so they can sell more games on those systems, which is nice, except for slop. That is, unfortunately, a consequence of making it easier for people to self-publish games. Because it was, for a time anyway, very difficult to get your games on there. Like, some of our arcade, we always talked about that, like, people would do publishing deals just to get on Xbox Live, because a company would have slots and then not have anything to put there, and so they would make like a sweetheart deal with somebody just to put it out. So you needed to know somebody to get your online only game that you made just for that, hopefully get there and get some sort of ability to get your game on a digital storefront. And they made it easier for people to do it, which unfortunately makes it easier for people to scam. But apparently, there was one developer anonymously telling the IGN, this is from the IGN article, that I thought was very funny. Nintendo is probably the easiest to scam. Once I'm in the door, so once you've gotten a game out there that's a real game, because you got to start with real games. You start with real games, and once you've gotten approved for your real games, then you can just upload whatever, and they trust you. They quote unquote trust you. So because once I'm in the door, I could make fart, booby fart the game, and maybe it would eventually get taken down, but it's so odd. So but you could make it and put it up there for a while, and then maybe somebody would notice. But once these services approve you as a developer or publisher, you're good. Yes, Fart Cat. Gotta bring back Fart Cat. Also, we don't know why PSN was down. They're not saying. They're paying every PS Plus member a small but free extension of their existing subscription, which is nice. They apologized. They're going to get additional 5 days of service, which I would say is a fine make good. 5 days of service is a fine make good. Obviously there are people who don't get to play during the weekend. Their gaming time was interrupted, which is a shame. Also, plenty of people who were like, hey, I couldn't play my single player game, so that sucks. Which is a reasonable thing to be upset about. Excuse me. Let's see. And yeah, we don't know why. They said network services have been fully recovered from an operational issue. And that's about as far as they said. Let's see. But they didn't go into any detail. It could be an ongoing issue. It could be something that they fixed, but it's a temporary fix, so they don't want to say exactly what happened because they are worried about it happening again. We don't know. We just do not know. Maybe we will know. Maybe we will never know. Which is not the best thing to say, but it is a true thing to say. We just don't fucking know. All right, so this is gonna go on here. This is gonna go above the line here. Snap that in place, and then this is gonna go here, and then this goes through that hole. But how does that? Oh wait, yeah. Okay, so it goes like this. Got it. Sorry, everybody. This one is a little occasionally fairly complex. All right, it goes there. This is going to do something. I don't know what any of this stuff does, but it does something. We know that goes like this. That's cool. We know that does that. And then this is going to, these turn. And then this doesn't, this has some give to it, but I don't think it does anything. But that'll do some things and some things. Fart, booby fart has deep lore. Yes, Lysandus, you really, you gotta play the visual novel games first, and then you can really figure out what's going on. But I guess you could watch. I guess you could watch the motion comic, /read the motion comic, and that would be helpful. But it's really, really important to check that full story out. All right, so let's see. This is gonna go here. Okay, so I push this here, and then I push that. This goes in. And then this goes in to lock it into place. Yes, and it looks like that. Great, great, great. We are almost done with bag 1. And then we're going to take a pause to the cause, talk about ways you can support the channel and all that. And then we'll start doing No Link bag 2, and I'll talk about some anime and all that. Is there any other news that I want to get into? There's a new publisher called 3 Friends that is starting up. These are people from that have history at Coffee Stain Studios and Mojang. These are going to be focusing on teams partnering with indie developers in Sweden and other Nordic-based groups. So that is the focus. And Daniel Kaplan. So it's called Three Friends, but they list 4 people, which I think is great because that implies that one of them is not friends with the other 3. And to one of them, this is just a business meeting. This is just work. Which is like, it's just like, they could change the name to 4 Friends at some point, but right now it's just 3 friends and they're like seeing what happens with it. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. I hear you. But yeah, they're focusing on being an indie publisher in the Nordic region, specifically Sweden. There are a lot of indie teams in that area, so there you go. And they got a bunch of things to say. Basically, their thing was, we want to have long-term development because games like Valheim and Deep Rock Galactic took time to refine their core gameplay before scaling up. Which is like, yes, that sounds like a good lesson to learn, which is always nice when you're like, it's one of those things where you're just like, oh wait, yes, that is something like, hell yeah, please learn that lesson. That sounds great. Sorry, I have to change one thing here on the back end of what I'm doing here real quick. My apologies. Sorry, gotta update this. Nope, that's not what I need there. Gotta change that. And I gotta go in here and then put that there and then put that like that. Great. Sorry, everybody. Hold on. And then we'll do that there. Sorry, I didn't update a command I needed to update here on Nightbot. So I had to update that. Live stream, folks. Indeed. This is a live stream. So I had to update there. But let's see. We'll put that there. Okay. These are all extra pieces, but they're always nice to have extras. So we'll keep them, and they will we'll put these aside because we do not need them to continue. These pieces here we did not use, but we will put them aside because maybe we will need them. It's always nice to have. Always better to have them than to not. We have bag 2, which we will need to null, and we'll do that live on stream. Oh, actually, one more piece. Also, I may have missed a piece somewhere, and then I go and do a thing, and I'm like, wait, this doesn't fit right, and then I realize, like, oh yeah, at some point, I just didn't put a piece in, but I have them, so I can fix my mistake. Do young people speaking of which, I just noticed I did miss a piece. This piece here goes, like, I literally, as I was talking about it, I noticed I forgot this piece here, so there you go. Do young people understand the importance of taking hostage pictures of the day's newspaper? I mean, Lord Crashington, I still think that is in media. I don't know if it's as important to young people as far as, like, I don't know if it's been storylines and some things. But I do think that there are some instances where people know that you want to have your name next to a date in a photograph, or your face next to a date in a photograph, that is important business. I don't know. I don't know if that's fully understood. Sorry, it got a little warmer here, so I have my hoodie on, but I'm just opening it up because now I'm a little toasty, which is not a big problem, certainly. All right. Now is the part of the stream. Yes, Lord Crashington, the idea of buying a newspaper every day is not something that many people have experience with. They understand that people buy news. They know what a newspaper is, and that people buy them because young people they lived with people who bought newspapers. Dying breed, but they certainly did live with people that did that. Now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you. That's right, you. About ways that you can support all of this and what I'm doing here. Everything I'm about to talk to you about is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. If you would like to do these things, you could. Again, so you don't have to, but if you wanted to, Be pretty neat. I'm going to start by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you could become one. You get these cool emotes. You don't see any pre-roll ads when you click on my streams. You don't, if I do have to take an ad break during the stream, you won't see that. And it's a way to support me, and you're already here on Twitch, so you might as well do it through Twitch. You could use your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime link with your Twitch, you get that token. If you've been gifted a sub, you could convert that like Beifu did. I know that Beifu converted their Prime gift sub, their gift sub to a Tier 1 sub, which is awesome. But if you wanted to gift a sub, you could do that. We've had no gift subs this month, which is okay. It happens. You could also do some cheer. Bits and coins are always appreciated. If you want to do that, you could. Of course, you're in no obligation to do those things, but if you would like to, we'd love it. We would love it. There are other ways to support me financially. If you were so interested in doing that, you don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could. Like, you could go to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there is a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards. For the different tiers, consider joining me on Patreon. I just want to check one thing really quick here. Okay, that still won the poll, so we're going to do that. Yes. But yes, my $3, $5, $10 patrons voted on what I'm doing tomorrow, what video game I'm playing tomorrow. My $10 patrons voted on this Lego set that I'm currently working on. I was surprised they did not pick the Dragon Gundam. They picked this Lego set instead, which is totally cool and fine. Good for them. I would like to build that Dragon Gundam soon, but whatever. I put this on the list, and if I didn't want to do this, I wouldn't have bought it, and I wouldn't have put it on the list. Speaking of that, unrelated, I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, if you want to, you could go hang out there, and you can, of course, become a subscriber for free. I post videos there pretty regularly. You can go check out a cool video that I'm putting there. You could also, if you wanted to, and you don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could jump on there and you could become a member. And for just $2 a month, you would get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So the video that everybody else is going to see on Wednesday, you could see that tomorrow, which is a nice little bit of business. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you want to help me out on a one-time basis, you just want to, give me a little tip, I have a Ko-Fi and I have a PayPal, and everything I make through direct donations like that through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out. I'm already at like $40-something for this month. And when I hit 100, I will use that money to buy model kits. So I'm already like halfway there, and we're so early in the month, which fucking rules, or the year, I should say, which fucking rules. So by the end of the year, I should be able to buy a couple model kits with that money, which would be great. But yeah, everything I make through that and through Twitch and Patreon all goes into a fund, and I buy kits and equipment with that money, including this very Lego set that I'm currently building right in front of your eyes. I'm working on that because... Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm working on that because I bought it and then put it on the list, and now I'm putting it together, which is great. If you want to decide what I build next, you want to buy something from my Amazon wish list, that's the easiest way. If you buy something on the wish list, it will jump the queue and become the next thing that I build. It will also get its own dedicated video on my YouTube channel called the Mailbag Video. And yeah, I've got model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits that go on sale, kits that never go on sale. A bunch of things. I recently added some Lego and some model kits to that list. See if there's something there you'd like to see me put together. It could be anything from like an $8 small little pretty easy for me to build model kit, all the way to an incredibly expensive model kit, or like a ridiculously pricey like thing that is just like, what are we even talking about here? Why would anyone want to buy that, Pat? Or but yeah, maybe you want to get me something, and again, it'll come to me in the mail, and I'll put together right quick. Like, sure, You could do that if you wanted to. Now, I do have an alternative to Amazon, which is my Throne wish list. If you want to support me, but you don't want to buy anything on Amazon, which I totally fucking understand, you could do it through Throne, see if that would help you out. And then, of course, if you want to support me financially and do it the most convoluted way and complicated way possible, you go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with your gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a private message on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy a model kit from USA Gundam Store. Again, most convoluted way to help me if you want to. If you want to support me and not spend any money, well, I got a Discord. You can go hang out in that Discord. We'd love to have you there. Go hang out in the old Kuma Baer Discord. It's a nice little place. It's a cool place. I got a couple of video links for you to check out. The latest episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club is up. It's been up for a week now. It is me recommending shows from this very anime season. If you are like, Pat, I do not know what to watch this season, I will help you by recommending cool shows. And then also Kuma Baer, more anime recommendations for you. Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series where every week I have a theme for a month and I talk about a show in under a minute because it's YouTube short. Trying to encourage you to watch it. And this particular, why do I forget what I'm doing here? Oh, Toradora. Toradora kicked off our Valentine's month, our romantic anime month. Not always all romantic comedies, mostly romantic comedies, a couple dramas. But yeah, 4 romantic shows that I am recommending, and this is the first of 4. Toradora is goddamn beautiful. It is funny and sweet and occasionally devastating. It is one of the best anime focusing on young people, set in a high school romance. It really captures trying to figure out who you are in relation to other people and love and trying to even understand what that could mean. It's really fun. So I recommend that quite a bit. Watch the 1-minute version if you'd like. Now, I have some anime to chat about. I've got an episode of Sakamoto Days, and we're finally going to get caught up in ZENSHU. So on Thursday, I'll either talk about another anime along with Sorority Utility, or I will talk about a manga. I haven't decided yet. But I'm finally caught up on ZENSHU, so I can talk about that episode. But before we do that, before I talk about 2 anime and we start knolling some plastic here, I do need to dramatically transition to the overhead camera, and I need to drink some water. I'm in desperate need of that. So we're going to do that right now. All right. Let's do it. Let's start. We're going to open this bag first before I start talking about some anime that I have been watching. We got this box. I don't know what's in this box. What's in the box? I'm just going to rip that. We got what? Okay, well, we knew it wouldn't be damaged. Literally, this box just has 1 rubber band. All this. So this didn't get damaged. Sure. I'm going to put that right over there so I know where it is. 1 rubber band, this whole little cardboard there. But we got a bunch of stuff here. So I'm going to be knolling. I will be separating this out. All of bag 2. I'm making sure the bag 2 is empty. It is. And then I'm going to open all 3 bags here. And then I'm just going to be grouping and separating by color here to make my life easier, so that I can find the pieces I need quicker as we're building them. I forget how many bags there are here, but we got through 1 bag, and now we're into the second bag. And then, okay, both of these are empty, visually inspected that they are empty, putting them over there in the trash. And now I just need to null and separate all these parts by color so I can find them. And as I am nulling, I will talk to you about the 2 anime episodes I watched here. I watched episode 5 of Sakamoto Days and episode 5 of ZENSHU. Pardon me, episode 6 of ZENSHU. My apologies. Episodes to get you caught up, Sakamoto Days is about our guy Sakamoto, or Taru Sakamoto, who was an assassin, and he gave up that life so he can have a wife and a kid, and he just works. But that life, he left that life. That life didn't necessarily leave him. So he now has an assistant who works there, who was originally there to kill him. And then along the way, they got involved with another person who they helped out, who was involved in some illegal trade stuff. And she now works there as well. At the time of this, they're hanging out. This is Sakamoto and his 2 employees, Shin and Lu. Lu is a lady. We'll talk about that as it comes up in this here. Basically, they have found out that someone has put a bounty out for Sakamoto. Sakamoto now has a price on his head, which obviously is not great. And so dealing with that, and they're trying to have a nice day because they don't want his wife to find out, because she has said that, you know, as long as he doesn't kill anyone and he doesn't go back to that life, then his happy family will stay a happy family. But if he falls back on that life, then it's over, which is reasonable. We later learn in this episode there is another condition, which we did not know previously, which is a little harder is a little harder of a promise to keep, but we'll see how that goes. I was like, come on, all right. I mean, I get it. It's all about trust. He was a killer, and now he's not anymore. But still, we'll get to it. Anyway, there's been a big fight. There were two assassins that attacked them. Shin is still injured, and so he is unable to help out. The antidote that he took for poison has made it so that he cannot read minds, which was a very helpful a bit of ability there for him, which he does not have temporarily. So Lu has been fighting another woman, one of the assassins, Obaguro, and they've had a lady fight here. Lu, just to keep up, has been doing a drunken fighting style, which was fucking awesome and animated really well. It's very cool. So the episode opens with Lu fighting, and she's just kind of like talking about how they feel like family members to me, and she's giving like a philosophy that you expect Lu might not give if she wasn't drunk. But then she realizes that she almost seriously hurt Obaguro. She could have killed Obaguro, but snaps out of her drunken stupor, her drunken fighting stupor, enough to make sure to prevent that, which Obaguro really takes to heart. This kindness is not something that she is used to. So she's instantly they hug, and she's instantly just like, I have so much respect for you and what you're doing. And it's like a real 180, and everyone's just like, wait, what happened? There are a bunch of witnesses, and they're like, wait, what's going on? Meanwhile, Sakamoto is thin for some reason. It seems like maybe he's heavy as a cover. It is inconclusive right now what's going on there, or if it is conclusive, I missed it. But yeah, he's thin right now, and he's fighting his adversary here, Boiled, who he's just starting to remember who Boiled was, and he does apologize for that. But there's a lot of personal grievance amongst this. So anyway, they're fighting. It's a choji situation. Yeah, it's a little bit of a choji situation. That's a good way to put it, Lashberg. Let's see. The wife wakes up, and she's just they've been clearly lying to her about what's going on. Taro and Boiled finish their fight off camera. They like come to terms, which is nice because that's kind of it's been fairly pretty much like, Sakamoto's deal is because he can't kill anybody now. So they have some pork buns and they hang out. Basically, it's not like Taro is going to join the group, or not Taro, that Boiled is going to join up, but he's just like, yeah, we'll back off for now. Like, yeah, we'll call a truce. Everyone's weirded out by Taro being thin. Boiled doesn't understand. Like, he's like, hey, just so you know, like, once people accept a bounty like this, like, they're gonna keep coming. Like, other people are gonna get sent out to take you on. It's not over just because you beat us. And so they're like trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, also, a thing that we knew, that if Taro went back on his word and started living that life again, that his wife would leave him. But I don't think we knew, at least I don't remember, he also is not supposed to keep any secrets from her. And like, sometimes you got to keep a little bit of a secret. You know what I mean? Like, not big ones like I'm a Stockholm murderer again, but like, I have a bounty on my head is the thing that you could like try to solve before you tell your wife, I guess. I don't know. I've never been married, so like I can only speak so much on this. You know what I mean? Like, I only have so much experience in this department, so I can't really get too deep into that. So like, what do I know? But anyway, this is a minor point. Then they're like, well, maybe we could figure out who put the kid out on Taru and find them and convince them to back the fuck off and to cancel the bounty, which is going to be tough because people it's hard to find that information. Just finding out who did it is going to be difficult. It's going to be really hard to find that out. But maybe Boiled's boss, the head of the group, Don Dekai, would know. And Taro's like, well, we can probably figure this out. We can probably like figure out where it is. We can probably get a meeting with the boss. Meanwhile, Nagamo, who is the shapeshifter, the master of disguise from a previous episode, that is from Taro's past, but doesn't seem to want to kill Taro. He's meeting with some other assassins who think that Nagamo did meet with Sakamoto and thinks he's lying. And so apparently Nagamo is part of this group, the Order, which we pretty much could guess because that was how they would know each other. But now we have more confirmation. Oh yeah, he's part of all that. He's part of this group. But he's obviously, certainly at the moment anyway, keeping Taru's keeping his friendship with Taru over his job, which is nice. There are other members, but apparently some of this meeting, some other members never. So we're getting some information on that there are members that never come to the meetings. Apparently, the JAA, which is the group, the larger group, they're having their own problems. There are some other issues going on where some of them are some of the like lower ranked members are getting killed, which is, of course, we know unrelated to our boys, but it's still happening. So the JAA wants the Order, which again is a special group. They want them to figure this out and solve the problem, which makes sense. Okay, so this is going to go on like this. And then these go on here and here. Okay, so Taro and Shin and Lu go to the headquarters and knock out some of the members and go to the boss's office and Nagamo is there. Nagamo is just there, and Nagamo's just like, yeah, I killed all the higher ups on this group, including the boss. And Taru, you are next on the list of people that need to die. So Nagamo, but then Nagamo goes after Shin. And then Shin thinks that Nagamo died. But nope, Nagamo is pranking them. This was a whole prank. But he didn't fake the deaths of those people. They were dead when he got there. This is a weird prank. Basically, he was just like, yeah, no. I didn't kill these folks. Yeah, but they're dead, but I didn't do it. I don't know if I'm properly explaining that nonsense, but it was some fucking nonsense. All right, I need this piece is weird. Sorry, there's some weird pieces here. Okay. I'm sure if I did a lot more Lego Technics that I wouldn't call these pieces weird, but because I don't have the proper vocabulary for them, just doing my best here. All right, so this goes like this. And then this goes like this. Okay, sorry, I was doing it wrong as well, which is always a good thing when you're just like, I'm not fully convinced I know what I'm doing here. It's always a good sign. And then this is going to go through this into this. Okay. And then that's going to go here. Some kind of device. And then this is going to go here. I don't know what we're building. I don't know if we're building the front of the truck, the back of the truck, part of the dump truck part, the dumper, or the cab. Like I'm not sure what we're doing here, but we're building something. Let's see. Nagamo released some information about the hitmen that are after Taru, Sakamoto and his group. He's like, this is unrelated to you. This is what's happening. There are people who are getting murdered. And the culprit is leaving an X at each of the murder sites. Taru then realizes, the order has been assigned to this mission. Immediately is just like, okay, I get what's going on here. He knows what's up. And then we get an explanation. We already know this. We get an explanation about what the order is and what they do. So we don't really need to go into that. This and one of these. Okay, we'll get these together here. But yeah, they know who X is. Let's see. Basically, it might be connected because Taro's bounty started around the same time that the JAA members started getting killed. And then we cut away to who we assume is X, the person doing this, because they're monologuing and there's a bunch of dead hitmen in the ground. And he just, left an X somewhere. So we get the sense that like, oh, cool. This is our big bad for the moment. And then they're at the family shop. And then a quick little montage, a quick little scene of a bunch of hitmen showing up. And then Taru beating all of them up. And then they are training because they are taking it seriously that more and more folks are going to show up to fight. And that they may have to, the danger may increase. So then we get a bit of a training montage at the very end of this episode, which is a weird thing. You'd think that this episode would have ended with the villain X monologuing and then, the reveal of the dead bodies. But instead it was just like, no, let's work out. And I found that confusing. That was a confusing scene to me anyway. Let's see, these all go here. Okay. Hey, friends, before we get into this episode of ZENSHU, our first stickers. We're going to put on our first stickers here of the build, which is stickers 11 and 10. So we'll go over here. we've got 11, 11, and 10. These are Mack. So we got the Mack here. So this is the front of the cab then, we can say, because that's where it would say Mack. So we're doing this, the front of the cab here. So these are lights and the logo right there. So that is good to know. Oh yeah, that's what that looks like there. Okay. Oops. Make that a little smaller. I thought this was a fun episode. It was, the violence in the front was pretty cool. I think we'll see some more fighting in the coming episodes. Now, over to the episode of ZENSHU. Our next episode of ZENSHU here is... I'm sorry. So let me get this on here. This is going to go like this. Right. That goes on there. Episode 6 of ZENSHU starts with a flashback. The 9 soldiers are the group that right now our girl is in, Natsuko is in, and there have been other people. We know about the dragon person, Justice, who quit the group, and we never really got the backstory in the anime version, so now we're getting more backstory there. But yeah, we get a montage of learning about some of them. Meanwhile, the Voids, you may remember our last episode ended in the cliffhanger of our girl, Natsuko, failed. She was trying to do everything by herself, and she had her first failure. So now, hopefully, we'll get some help from other people, and we'll see what's going on with that. Apparently, the slime voids are trying to, they're making a cocoon, a big cocoon. So that gives us some time, because the slimes were too strong. Now the slimes are trying to make a bigger, stronger void, because once again, there is the object that they need to get, and they're looking for that one object there. So because once they destroy it, then the great void will show up, and that's the end of the whole thing. That's your lot. That is the end of the world, basically. The soul future. Once that's gone, we're done. Melanin and Unio heal Natsuko's wounds. Then Natsuko is like, I'm going to take this on, and we finally get Luke being like, hey, your attitude is shit. Like, things aren't going to work out unless you start, relying on other people. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of your shit, basically. Again, they have some time here because of them. Basically the slimes give them some time to kind of recoup. Luke visits the graves of his friends and compatriots that passed away, and meets Justice. And Justice is kind of taunting him, but really I think is just like very fucking sad because his wings don't really work anymore, and he can't, he quit the team. But he's basically just like, look, even if you try your hardest, heroes don't always win. Sometimes heroes lose, which is, not the best thing to hear, but reasonable. All right, so we need to put this on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2. Okay, we're putting on the 5th spot here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This spot here. Double check, make sure. Yeah, it's on 5. Great. And we're doing this twice. You can do it exactly the same way, which is great. Let's see. But yeah, Luke is still determined. QJ, who I forgot all about because we haven't seen much with QJ. QJ is basically just like, look, you're reckless. You're trying to do everything on your own. You should rely on people. And they convince her, basically, Natsuko gets convinced that she's kind of be more of a team player, which we know from her real life she has never been. She's not that's not a thing that she's ever been able to do. All right, so okay. This is gonna go on this one here. Come on. Putting these on is sometimes a little difficult. You gotta kind of, occasionally getting these on here. Because it kind of like there's one way. It's got to be lined up, right? Okay. This should actually make it easier to do on this side since I got them all there. But you kind of have to get all of them on at once instead of starting on one end. I don't know. It's a little confusing. But. All right. So that goes in there. That goes in there. And then now we're moving on to the next section. More of this episode. Then we'll talk about what y'all are up to and all that. Okay. They come up with a plan. Which starts with a force field being created around the Soul Future to give them time and to protect it, which they probably should have been doing the whole time, but whatever. Then everyone's getting for battle. The bird that we saw in the previous episode that was like, you're gonna fail, also says you're gonna fail, and Natsuko ignores the bird again, which like, you should maybe talk to this talking bird and just be like, okay, well, how would I not fail? What's up? Like, maybe you want to check in with this fucking bird. I don't know. Maybe it's worth asking, like, well, what the fuck do you know, bird? But instead, just keep going, I guess. Let's see. So the void... the voids there, the slime voids that were there, the cocoon opens and a big centipede-looking thing shows up, and then it eats two people. It eats two of the heroes. Don't worry, they come out of it later. But they get eaten, and one thing that's fucked up is, I don't know if I've said this before, but Unio is a fucking unicorn, and Unio's horn fucking falls off. And Natsuko finds the horn, and so instead of making a monster or a creature or a hero from her imagination, instead of doing that, when her power activates, she makes platforms, so the other members of the team can chase after the void. But she has trouble because she can't see, she's too far away, so she can't really like guide them as well as she'd like to. But don't worry about it, because Justice shows up, and even though he can't fly that well, he can still fly a little bit, so he helps her, and so she can see what's going on. The void breaks through the force field. The two people, QJ and Melman, who were in the stomach, escape, and then Unio, who does not have as much power as he used to, the unicorn, uses the power of kicking. This is a support to kick our boy Luke towards the void, who can then destroy it, because now it can finally get close to the void and destroys the void before it can eat the Soul Future. Justice, who has kept his disability of his one broken wing, finally just says, hey, this is why I left, because I didn't think that I could support the team anymore. But Natsuko has helped me change my mind, and I still think I can contribute. And that's the end of the episode. It was good. I liked the idea of, 6 episodes in, and Natsuko is finally like, I don't have to make the one thing that can save the day. I could make things that could help people save the day. I like that she's finally figuring that out. I thought that was kind of fun. She does. I should say she does have the horn that fell. She is keeping it, and maybe she can use her magic to give the horn back to the unicorn, who is now just a little horse, a My Little Pony ass-looking horse. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll see. I'm liking the show. I do think it loses a little bit of its luster when when our main character isn't making creations that are references to other anime or popular media, and it loses a little bit of that if she's just making like stairs, like making a platform. I think it loses a little bit of the love there, but overall it's still a really solid series and I'm enjoying it, and I'm glad that I gave it a second chance because the first episode kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I'm glad that I have stuck with it because I do think that it's pretty fucking cool. And I like to watch some original anime and not just adaptations because I'm watching a bunch of adaptations that are not good. So now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends, as I roll up my sleeves here. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? I always love hearing from you about what you got going on. So let me know in chat if you're watching anything, you're playing any video games, anything like that. This weekend, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I watched the Super Bowl. That was my Sunday. Obviously, we streamed on Saturday as well. But I did get some gaming in. I did get more multiverses because I have one friend who's really bummed that game is going away. So we did get more multiverses in. And then I also played some Marvel Rivals because we had a crew and the crew got bigger. And then some of the people that came in yesterday were like, what if we didn't play... it's like, what if we played a game that more of us like? So we did that, and that was very fun. Today, I did some cooking. If you follow me on Blue Sky, you will see my post today about what I worked on, that I made a meatloaf, and that meatloaf turned out really fucking awesome. That was a real good job on my part. Did a real good meatloaf. And I have enough for... I'm going to have like a sandwich, a late night sandwich of that tonight. And then also tomorrow I will be able to, or not tomorrow, but another day, I will have more meatloaf for another meal. Cause I had, it was like a pound and a half of meat in there. So it'll last me a while. I'll be able to get some amount of stuff in there. Okay. We got to build two things. We can build two of them at the same time here. So let's get all the parts we need for this. But yeah, if you've been watching anything, playing anything, doing anything, and you want to let me know in the chat, I always like to hear from you about the things that you got going on. I mentioned tomorrow I'm going to the post office, and then I'm going to walk across the street and go to Arby's for lunch. I'm excited for that. Tomorrow night, checking out a fun video game. I will be playing for the first time To the Rescue, which is a dog shelter simulator. That game I got for free through Twitch Prime Gaming. So I'll be playing that. I got to make sure I updated it because I downloaded it, but I don't keep the Epic Games launcher open and running in the background. So I always have to make sure that I got that and that they never remember my fucking login, which is really annoying, but whatever. We'll get that done. And I'll test that out tomorrow and make sure that that's all working right, but it should be working just fine. So that's tomorrow night. I'm excited for that because that game looked cute, and also free games are free. I know what I'm doing for the rest of February. I have to build. That's right. I do have to do that. I have to, I need to, sorry, I'm scattershot here. I will need to, tomorrow start working on my calendar, my schedule for the rest of February. I will have to get that done. That'll be a thing that I have to do, which is fine because that's a thing that I need to do. So like, I will do that thing. Do not worry about it. I will get that done. I need 5 pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. We did it. Other things that I got going on here. Is there other things that I can tell you about? I don't know. Thursday, we'll take a break from working on this. I will put all this aside. And on Thursday, we will do a different Lego set, which I'll show you here. This is the Valentine's Day themed Lego set. Let me bring that up here. There it is. That's what we're working on. On Thursday, we'll celebrate Valentine's Day with a 1-stream build of that. And then if I finish it, if it takes less than the full stream, then I will come back to working on the dump truck. But that is Thursday, because I thought that would be a fun thing to do there. But again, the next stream that I'm doing is tomorrow, but the next build stream is on Thursday. I know that can occasionally be a little confusing, but we will have hopefully a good time on Tuesday with that video game. I don't have any plans to. I mean, the next game that I'm buying is WWE 2K25. That comes out in March. Let's see. Yeah, wait, hold on. Do I have Steam open? I have Steam open. Hold on. Let me open up Steam. Store wish list. Here we go. Let's see. Where are you? Did I put on my wish list? I did. WWE 2K25 is coming out on the 14th of March. I am not going to pre-order the big nasty bundle. So it comes out on the 14th, but that might be the day that it comes out early. Let me see. No, it's coming on the 14th. I can pre-purchase it. Oh, advanced access is on the 7th. Okay, so it's coming out on Friday the 14th of March. So I will be checking that out the following week. That makes perfect sense in March. So yeah, so that's the next thing that I'm going to buy. But I'm not going to get the advanced access version, which I did last year, because I don't need the DLC. It turns out I actually don't really need all that DLC, and I don't need it a week early. And in fact, for my purposes, as you all know, for my purposes, I actually want it to be. I want the version that comes out a little later, so there's more time for people to have created wrestlers and all that. Like, that's actually what I want, is that. So, oops, I put this in the wrong place here. So hold on, pop that out. Brick separators, good for this job. Last person has been listening to podcasts here and there, been running my computer nonstop, pretty much ripping DVDs, and I truly hate everyone who puts in episodes of TV shows on a disc that's just one big video file. Yes, Lastbrook. One big video file instead of a bunch of smaller files is rude. That's some rude business. I concur with you, my friend. That sucks. Because then you got to go and break them all up, and it's just a lot of extra work. Or you gotta label that one file, all the episodes, then deal with it later. And yeah, that's some annoying stuff. That is to make it harder for you to rip those things, or more inconvenient, which is annoying. All right, so this is gonna go here. Wait, no, this goes here. I think, yeah. Yeah, okay. This has got to snap in like that, and then that snaps in like that. Yeah, that way you get the angle of the truck. Excellent. So now I got to do the same thing on this side. What was I going to say? I don't know. What was I going to say? I am watching other anime stuff, and I'm enjoying it. Solo Leveling is fucking phenomenal. Solo Leveling is probably my favorite show of the season. My favorite new show of the season is probably Sakamoto Days or ZENSHU, one of the ones I talked about today. I like both those shows. But yeah, I think like my favorite show of this particular season is the second half of Solo Leveling, or season 2 of Solo Leveling, whichever one it is. Lord Crash says, I see that American and Euro Truck Sims got a new Valentine's Day event, so I'll be doing that this week. Hell yeah. Always nice to know that you got some DLC to play. I did play a lot of Hearthstone today, and I finally started winning some games. I have a real asshole, a deck for assholes, a real jerk priest deck that I'm having some fun with. It's one of those decks where, like, if everything works out for me, I win, and my opponent has to win faster than I can win. But if like the cards aren't, if I'm not getting the cards that I really need, then it's a nightmare and I hate it. But I'm still having a good time with those decks. I'm probably going to end up playing a little bit of Hearthstone next week. So the plan next week is next Tuesday is I'm going to play Sorry Simulator, which is like a $5 game that is a Japanese game that has been somewhat translated and seems like very janky and really silly. But I got that game. I don't know if there's 2 hours worth of content for that game. So my backup is that I'm planning on playing that game next Tuesday, not tomorrow, but the week after. But if it like doesn't, if it's not good or fun, or I get stuck like 45 minutes in or something, then I'll play some Hearthstone as a backup. That's the plan for next week. Because I did do some Hearthstone on my subathon, but I have a deck that I've been playing since then. And I felt like that was a good like backup to have that and just be like, oh, I can do that if necessary. All right, let's get on to the next step here. And again, I will take a pause from working on this, and then we will come back to it on Saturday or by the end of Thursday. But the plan is that I will start a fun Valentine's themed build for Thursday, just to kind of be, you know, start off the lovely little holiday right. You know, we'll get into it. We'll have a good time with it. Let's see. Let's get this going here. But yeah, if anybody else has anything that they want to tell me about, things that they've been up to and into, I always like to hear from you. Otherwise, you know, you can save it. You can chat with me tomorrow. It's been a pretty laid back Monday night, which is okay. Never really had like a ton of people, but you know, still happy to have the folks that stuck around. The folks that are here, thanks for being here. The folks that stuck around, thanks for sticking around. Always nice to have you, but it's okay. It's all right to have a light day. Doesn't always have to be big. Oh, one thing I did want to say. I want to say my due diligence. That there is a Twitch channel running now that I do want to mention that exists called Giant Bomb Forever. And it is a spiritual successor to Giant Bomb Infinite. I do not have a lot of information about this, but it is a 24-hour stream of Giant Bomb content. Apparently it has, it does have voting. It does have like there will be polls about the next thing to play, and you can vote for the next thing that gets played. Right now, 81 people are in that chat. I don't know if they're all actively watching, but there are people in there. So that's happening, which like, hell yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy for folks that exists. That's a fun bit of business. Yeah. So like, I mean, am I going to go, we're not going to go raid that tonight because it's Monday. So I know who we're going to go raid, but, it goes in like that. And then I need 2 of these. Wait, not the rubber one, right? Wait, yes, not the rubber one, the metal one. Got it. These are obviously pretty similar. One is rubber, one is metal, but they are different. Besides the rubber, they are different. And it does go out of its way to tell me that I want the one that is not rubber for this. And I'm glad that they say something, because I could fuck that up. But instead of fucking it up, I'm doing it right, which is nice. It's nice to do the right thing. Nice to do the thing correctly. All right, and then this goes. It's the other one. 2 of these are very similar. This is a door. We're building a door. I wasn't sure what this is the fun thing about this kit is constantly I'm going, oh, that's what we're building. Okay. And in this case, it's a door. Oop. Sometimes doing these like 2 at a time is frustrating. And I don't know. I don't do a lot of Lego Technic, so I don't know if there is a, oh, well, you know, if you do it like this, these are simple. Like, I don't know if there's a secret to doing this or a trick. Maybe by the end of this, I will have learned some trickery. But if I just do 1 at a time, like, you gotta like, yeah, you really gotta shove these in here. I guess I have to be pretty careful because separating these might not be the easiest thing in the world. So I kind of have to be a little careful here. Trying to get this last piece done before we wrap up. So let's see. Make sure that these are tight like this. And then line it up. Oh, I almost had it. Oh, okay. Come on. Wow, what the fuck? Why don't these want to go? Maybe I'll do this. Let me try the other way. Let me try putting them in first, 1 at a time. I'm going to try this. Maybe this is a terrible idea, what I'm doing here. But if I put these in first and then slide this in, great. I'm just going to do that. I don't know why that was so difficult doing it 2 at a time, but 1 at a time, no problem. So when I do the other, hopefully I'll remember when I do the other door in the future, that won't happen again. But that's going to be, you know, a ways away. So who even knows? But we made a lot of progress here. We got through 1 whole bag and into the second bag. So we made a good amount of progress on this particular build, which is excellent. Love seeing that. There we go. And that's going to do it for tonight's stream. I want to thank you all so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out and spending a little bit of your busy schedule here, your Monday with me. Sorry, I'm holding a box. And now I'm putting that box away. But thanks so much for spending some time with me here on the old Build with Bear workshop. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And we are going to raid. That is how we end everything around here. We always end with a raid. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend some time with them. So we hope that you'll hang out. And we're going to play To the Rescue next week. So please come back for that. We're going to go hang out with Mary Kish. Mary rules. We always like to hang out with Mary. So we'll go see Mary in a little bit here. To the Rescue is a dog shelter simulator, which seems very cute and cool. And that is what we will be streaming tomorrow night. So I hope you come and hang out for that. I want to thank you all so much for being here on this fine Monday evening. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting with me about things and things. I will see you on Tuesday tomorrow for some video gaming, and then again on Thursday for some Valentine's Day themed Legoing. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.